What's up, guys? We're going over the Knights now, right after the McDurks, which is fitting because they're coming back just like them. They're four-man squad. They have the same bonding options basically, and they do play different. Where McDurks are very hard hitters, these guys are a little slow, but they're more defenders. They slowly advance more so. Um, But Knights have always been solid, and I really like this art. You got a guy sprinting with the shield blocking, somebody taking a knee, that's neat, and then the other guys are kind of posing. You got the figures here. It looks like we're not doing stickers now, we're doing paint, which is cool, and they'll also be extremely so easy to paint yourself if you want. Just silver and then blue and then do some kind of design on the shield if you want. It doesn't have to be that. The lion with the crosses, but yeah, I like their little stances. It's the same as they had before, but you can see much more detail, especially in the helmets, I think. Yeah. All right, back down to here. Again, we have the older look of the card. Looks like the art is the newer art, but showing the figures instead of the normal art they do. These guys are 80 points instead of the McDurk 65. But there's some reasoning behind that. And now here's that art again. They're from Earth, obviously. And these guys are Valiant Knights. Valiant, just like Sam Brown, means they can go into 4th Massachusetts builds and still give them their extra defense in all time, but they got quite a few options, even bonding in contemporary. You got the new Alistair and Gilbert. You got Joan of Arc, and then you got the old Finn, Thorgrim, all those guys, and typically the best for them is going to be Gilbert. So they're going to be a bit of an expensive army where you probably get Gilbert, because what is that, 100 and some point, like 140 or something, I thought 160 maybe, I don't remember. We'll see that in a second, but 160 for two of them, three of them would be, well, four of them would be 320. So you could still fit four of them in Gilbert, I think, in most formats, which is pretty good. That doesn't give you any range, but you could possibly fill that in with something depending on the event. Anyway, so these guys get 80. They're worth 80 points. They cost 80 at least. They're slow. Their attack's normal. Their defense is a little higher, but 4 is much better than 3 defense. 4 is kind of the magic defense number, they say. Yeah, Valiant Knights. And then they got a Coward's Reward, so if you're retreating from them, instead of rolling 1 dice, 2 dice get to be rolled. So you actually have a 75% chance to do 1 or more wounds. And then you, instead of 50% chance to get 1 wound. And then the Knights of Weston have Human Champion Bonding, like we were saying. So pretty basic, but once you put them with Gilbert, on average they'll have 6 move, or you can slowly advance, like I was saying before. And they go really well with Raylan, but you could still put them with like Raylan 4.0, and when they get attacked, she can jump around and be offensive while they're slowly moving in, or give them something ranged to attack people with. So, yeah, so Gilbert, like, typically, like, averages 6, but sometimes you'll only get to, even if you move the same knights with his flag ability, sometimes they'll move only 4 or 5 still, which sucks. But I've faced someone before where Gilbert got them to move 5 spaces with the symbols they roll, and then 4, and then like 5 again, and then 3, and then 2. Like that was the first 5 turns. There was no road or anything, luckily, but her knights were moving up so crazy fast, and that was really scary. Um, and Gilbert can give them better attacks, so that 3 could become 4 in some cases, or if you set it up really well, 5 with height. So they become a very dangerous wall coming at you. So they're better against melee, especially without Raylan 1.0. What else? I know Ken Williams loves the Knights because he won one of the Gen Cons he went to a while back in the old days of Heroscape with the Knights. I like the Knights. They're not my favorite thing, but I do like them. I've faced them a few times. I typically beat them with range, but I beat them with Death Chasers. But every time they have been scary, so you could definitely win events with Knights and some good bonders. Alright, let's read their lore. Little lore. Not a lot. A decade of warfare has hardened the Knights of Weston. These elite knights have been Jandar's front line since the early days of the battle of all time. From holding the lines in Nostraland against the invaders, to securing control of Ostrovik with Olar's forces during the Swarm of the Morrow, and now deep into the depths of Valhalla itself, venturing through the dark dungeons of the Citadel. The pride of Jandar's army and the Knights of Weston have even garnered the respect of Einar's court and other adversaries. Okay, so yeah, they've been around a long time. They're like the 501st of Star Wars. They've done a lot of big things. They've always been there, and everyone looks well upon them. Especially if you consider what wave they first came in. It was full of... Utgar's Rage was full of evil characters, and it was just these guys in the 4th Mass with Sir Denric. And if you include the promo, Sir Hawthorne was another Utgar, one that betrayed them. So, yeah, these guys stood their ground and fought back against the hordes of Utgar, basically, in the old lore. So, anyway, let's continue this one. With the clattering of plate mail as their herald, the arrival of Weston's veterans scatters the enemy. Those foolish enough to remain are met with expertly crafted steel and swordsmanship. Those who can withstand these mighty attacks find that even the strongest of blows dealt to one of these walking masterworks of metal are often deflected off the helmets or battered aside by shields. To fell one of these knights is an accomplishment of its own, though few who manage to do so live to tell the tale. Ooh. The knights who remain are unparalleled on Valhalla, although they grow fewer in number every year. So over time, they've slowly been dying off, unfortunately. But now they do get the bears to help them out a bit. Even so, they remain legendary allies, and to see the shields and banners of Weston coming to reinforce your battle is to know that Jandar's victory is at hand. And yeah, these guys are the stamp of Jandar. Like, if you like Jandar because he's the good guy, these guys are the poster children of Jandar because his flag bearer is a knight hero, and he typically only really loves to go with these guys. I mean, he goes with other things too, but you normally see him with these guys. So they are the poster children of what is good, the light side in Heroscape, basically. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of these guys coming back, remastered's coming back, and what you think about that lore, maybe the old lore if you know that. And yeah, like and subscribe please so other people can see this stuff. That's why I put it out, to give you guys something to do. Like, I watch other people's stuff at work, so thanks for that if you do so. And pretty soon we'll get to 250 subscribers, which is a cool little mark there. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.